to that sweet dank. Guy's getting stoned out of his mind. We wish to publicly acknowledge the splendid cooperation of several of the nation's narcotic experts and government departments who aided in various ways the success of this production. This is a story of tea, or tomatoes, the kind millions, through ignorance, have been induced to smoke. I have never smoked tea or tomatoes. Everything in the world has been a word for marijuana. Everything. Even made-up words have been terms for marijuana, which just proves it's been everywhere, like drinking. There's like 1,000 words for drinking. There's 1,000 words for drugs, or not drugs, for marijuana, which means everybody's fucking used it and came up with their own thing. Look at that. Just look at him twist that marijuana cigarette. Like he's got no care in the world.
This is the city of Los Angeles, one of the fastest growing communities in the United States today. A city that still reflects the charm and customs of its native past. A city of culture.
Native past?
Of advanced liberal education that keeps abreast of each new generation.
What's up, dude? Were you high on the weed? Is that why you cut 33% of your finger off?
City of the angels. But like any other city, it has its back alleys.
Yeah.
Its world of saints and sinners.
Yeah.
And the half-world of dark shadows some of them dwell in.
Is that
the darkest of these shadows is marijuana. This harmless-looking cigarette is cloaked in many innocent disguises. But light the match.
That is a lot of fucking weed. He has a lot of weed on his desk.
To your own murder.
Yeah, everything is just like pre-rolled cigarettes. But what I love is the cop on his desk had like a full fucking coffee can full of them. That's so much weed, especially for 1939.
The kind that knows how to keep a good friend.
He put the weed in her hair. Please tell me he put the weed in her hair. He did! He's like a magician with blunts. Is this some weed behind your ear? Wow, okay. He just shoved it into his mouth.
Fellas, Anne's gonna join the club. Come on, we can't miss this.
That's a good girl.
Don't be a poor sport, Anne. It's fun. You'll love it.
This has never happened, I think, in a smoking circle that I'm aware of.
I wouldn't steer you wrong.
You know when you've gotten high and you just destroy your own fucking house? What the fuck? That's actually sexual assault was the third title suggestion.
You know the stick, Marky.
You've done so much for me already. It just isn't fair to keep taking away from yourself and giving.
How you know it was made in a completely different time?
Sis, I'm gonna
She works as a dancer. That's her only job, and she's putting him through college, and she could pay for a fucking house. In Los Angeles, unless she's getting paid fucking outrageous to be a dancer, there's no fucking way that's possible.
Not with your...
This is why you don't give Dave any weed. Just let him drink. Oh, now she's thinking about boning. The outrage. Do they call them tomatoes just because they put weed in tomato cans? Because they could be put in any can. They don't need to be exclusive to tomatoes. I'm not 100% sure what this montage is supposed to be saying. Oh, she's just... a lot of... What a monster. Making a bunch of money doing her job, going home and smoking weed with her friends and no one's getting hurt. The outrage. If she was doing the same thing with alcohol, completely fine. As long as no one's driving.
It hasn't only been my fight alone, but everybody's.
Hold on, I have to pause this. For a second. So she had a speech. She had a full speech planned for the end of this where she looks to camera, and apparently it was bad enough that they were like, just put up some text. Just put up some text. What happened in that speech that was like, nah, we just gotta put up some text, man. That's not gonna work. She did a terrible fucking job. Well, that's the end, guys. You know, but I don't think we've learned enough about marijuana. I think we need another hit of knowledge. So we're gonna switch over to Reefer Madness, but until then, we're gonna take a little break. It looks like he should be wearing an Imperial officer's uniform.
I've received a letter of vital importance from a member of the Narcotics Bureau.
It's totally a real letter. I'm not making it up on the spot.
My dear Dr. Carroll, the
You
suppression
are the
of the
coolest.
use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department.
By the way,
is now
Dr.
engaged
Carroll, I wanted to mention, you are a
in. At the outset
virile
of this
man
letter,
with
there is
giant
one vital
penis.
fact I would like to submit.
A man any woman
There is
should
a
love to be
powerful
with.
agency. I speak of the
You
school
dance
parent
great.
associations of this country, which
You
can
lift
be
thousands of
invaluable
pounds.
in stamping out this scourge. Their help, their eternal vigilance, could be the deciding
You do
factor
not look
in
like
our
the Crypt
fight
Keeper
against
with glasses.
the weed marijuana is grown in every things do happen, but they cannot happen to you.
Guys, you cannot
You may also
buy or
believe that the
sell
facts have
feet
been
pics
exaggerated.
in my chat.
Let me
I know
tell
it's
you
not a part of the
something
official
that
rules,
happened right
but
here
don't do
in
it,
our own
please.
city. You probably
Look at this sock hop. These kids rocking and a rolling. That fucker's high. Look at him. Like a fucking demon.
You're just finding out.
No one's ever done. It's not crack cocaine. It's not meth.
Why can't we go now?
Good. What did she say?
I think it was also funded by olive oil. That's the second mention of olive oil in this fucking movie.
Hello, Mother.
Hello, Mrs. Lane.
That was sweet of you, Mother.
Gosh, hot chocolate. Thanks, Mrs. Lane.
I know you
Did
can't
you forget
study
the
on
olive
empty
oil?
stomach.
Of course
Now
not.
then, enjoy yourself. He will.
She will too, Mrs. Lane. May I?
That dude is very large. He's the largest dude we've seen. He's like the Big Show of
I
weed.
only wish you had a couple of kids so I could...
Yeah.
Ooh. What?
All right, Jack, pick up your
I wish you had a
stuff.
couple of kids that I could... Please finish the sentence. Definitely finish that sentence, please, because now we have a lot of questions. There's also a pinch of rape, just a pinch of rape in that story. And you know, everything works with a pinch of olive oil. This is water, but imagine it's olive oil. It smells like a fucking skunk died in
Give me
here.
a glass of water.
Who's behind you?
No, no, no.
You'll hang if you don't talk.
No.
Who hired you and Jack? Hurry. Are you ready to tell what you know?
Yes.
Not a great interrogation. Kind of sped through it there. I'm talking into a microphone. It's supposed to look like news reports are going out. Maybe I'm a dispatcher, who knows? Scene's not very clear. Now we just got a whole bunch of dark screens. Oh, we're reenacting The Shining right now. We love Jack Nicholson. Alright, everybody. Wanted to give a couple words about the movies we just watched and marijuana usage in general, I guess. While listening to smooth jazz. Anyway. I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but don't listen to anybody about drug usage unless they have done those drugs. And what I mean by that is... obviously, the experience of drug use is going to be different for every person. Pretty obvious. Clear, makes sense. And when you're dealing with marijuana especially, after all the research that's come out about what it does to the human body and what are the actual effects and what's happening, versus prolonged alcoholic consumption, prolonged opioid consumption, prolonged use of all other types of body-altering things. Okay, Ben, I've done aspirin. I had my first drop of alcohol on my 21st birthday at midnight with my dad and my brother, and by 25 I had marijuana edibles with my brother, and a couple of years after that smoked marijuana for the first time, and was not a regular marijuana consumer, but I had consumed marijuana on a, I would say, semi-regular basis. I don't anymore, because I've learned a little bit more about myself. I took an inward journey, like Billy Jack, if anyone has any fucking idea what that is. But here's what I'll say about marijuana, for those that may have stumbled across this and are big 420 heads or thinking about marijuana, or now that it's become more acceptable and more legal in different states and different areas around the world. I will just say, I do believe what I was taught as a dare kid, if you read the hat. If you're a kid, don't do it. I'd say wait until you're 18 or 21, because your brain is still forming when you're a kid, and you don't want to include drugs that may drastically affect how your brain chemistry works. So don't do it if you're a kid. It's just basic shit. Wait till you're an adult. College, the reason college is awesome, no one blames you for doing any of the things you do. Really. That's where you experiment, that's where you try shit. If you can pretend like high school's important if you want, but just don't do anything that'll negatively form your brain. It's simple as that. And when it comes to weed especially, same with tobacco, kids, don't screw up your lungs. Exactly. And I know that there's this big campaign against vaping and whatnot. I do believe there are other things that you need to worry about to stay healthy. You know what I mean? There are tons of other things. Diet. Mindfulness. And I understand how hard it is when you're a teenager, because it's all hormones and not thinking, to try and understand what you're going through. But it's important to know, while I have you here in this new TED Talk that we're having, it's not just drugs that you shouldn't be doing. You should also look into the habits that you have and how healthy they are for your body, for your mind, for your soul. And weed, if you're wondering what weed does to you, it just enhances what's already there. The reason food tastes better is because your tastes are enhanced, your sense of smell is a little bit enhanced. The reason you enjoy music more when you're high is you're noticing more. It seems like you're registering more when you listen to things. That's why it's so much fun. However, in some people's cases, like my own, if you have psychological or emotional issues, it'll heighten those as well. The paranoia factor, super high. With me, at least. That's why I don't really do marijuana anymore. And if you can deal with that, if you can deal with your demons, if you don't have that many demons, and you want to enjoy some marijuana, I think you should be able to. Because you know what's legal? Booze. Which is literal poison. The reactions of alcohol in your body is literally your body trying to expel poison. But that is more than acceptable. It's at every one of our events. It's at every one of the social gatherings, unless you're just a dry gathering. Fast food is also literal poison. It just tastes so damn good. This is not sponsored by Jack in the Box. I just go there constantly. But all that to say, these films are funny because they're ridiculous. I got them right here. She should have said no, Reefer Madness, blended together. Standards? I don't know what I'm doing wrong, Ben. You might have to explain it. But with that said, I think if you're going to participate in marijuana, you just have to accept the consequences of that. No, I'm not gonna drop Jack in the Box. What are you, crazy? You're fucking out of your mind. What is this? What is this? What are you, my dad? No, you're somebody else's dad. Calm down. When it comes to the Mary Jane, the marijuana, the whatnots, just be mindful of yourself. Take a moment to think about how you react to things. And if you want to try it, small. Think small. Do not start with edibles. It is a terrible idea. Edibles, because I always called marijuana a wave. And when you're smoking it, what you're doing is you're building the wave. And depending on how much you smoke of it, the wave gets higher. Basically, edibles are like a tsunami wave, and you have no idea when it's gonna hit. That's why you don't do edibles first. Because then you're just awash in it, and you have no idea when it's gonna end. That's why don't start with edibles. Just be smart. Be intelligent. Don't do it when you're a kid, because your shit's still forming. You have enough time as an adult to do things that you regret or you like. You have enough time. Don't do it when you're a kid. And it doesn't make you cool. I think enough studies have been done to show that kids now have a better grasp in high school of there are things I don't have to do to be sociable, to make friends. I don't have to participate in these things. If they want to, they're gonna do it anyway, but just tell them the truth. The truth is, weed can be very fun, especially when watching movies. It won't make bad movies good, it'll just make it more enjoyable. One of my favorite things about Doug Benson. He's like, weed never made a bad movie good, but he goes to every movie high.